Welcome back, everybody. We just got the gameplay footage for CyberPuNK 2077, and this is all I can do. We're going to break everything down now, or as much as we can, in today's episode of
Shady Spidey's Web of News!
It finally arrived. The gameplay demo for CyberPuNK 2077. We're going to go ahead and break down as much as we can. If I missed something, make sure you let me know in the comments, and also make sure if you like the video, hit that like button, make sure you subscribe to the channel to be updated when I make more content. Now, let's go ahead and dive right in. So the first thing that they showed was that your character is going to be fully customizable in the game, and they want everybody to be able to have freedom of creativity when it comes to creating their character. So they do kind of tease at a robust character creation menu right before the game starts. Now, the demo starts us off basically hunting down scavengers who are kidnapping people and trying to dismember them for their nanotechnology to sell back on the black market. One thing I immediately noticed was, I don't know if this is going to be implemented into the game, but I found it very interesting that the protagonist's gun actually works underwater. If you look here, you can see that the gun gets completely submerged underwater, and she's still able to pull the trigger. Now, I don't know if that's going to be something that can be implemented later on, or if it's going to help you out, but I did think that that was a kind of cool feature. Now, a couple of other features that they showed in the game were mods that you can add to yourself to basically improve your skills. One, if you notice here, they're slowing down the gameplay footage while you're shooting, kind of like a Max Payne style gameplay. Now, there are also destructible environments. You can shoot through walls, and I'm sure that they're going to have some sort of way to implement that into your vision, where you'll be able to see through the walls or whatnot with future upgrades. Now, I'm not sure if that slow motion is going to be something that we're going to get from the beginning of the game. They did state that this is very early on in the game, or if it's a perk that we're going to have to unlock later on. But I'm sure we will get more information as it comes out. Now, speaking of mods, there are a few mods that they did display during the gameplay. One in particular in the form of a data recovery cord that extends from your arm that allows you to connect to individuals and be able to get particular information about certain missions that you're on. Now, I'm not sure if this is something that you start the game with, which I would assume so. It seems something that's very basic, not something that's really going to help the game a whole lot if it were to give it to you as a mod. But that's something that we'll go ahead and discuss further when we talk more about the mods. Now, next thing we saw was the first glimpse at the company Tomm, which seems to be a militarized version of your emergency services, or EMTs, that seem to be a little bit on the aggressive side. So maybe they're hinting at corruption within the corporation itself, or maybe that's just how they handle business.
5 steps back, now!
Now, they did say that they are implementing maturity into the game, which they are very, very, very flagrant with it. They show there's nudity, there's one-night stands from what we can see, and it just seems like something that is definitely not for everyone. So as you can see here, as you're going through like your closet and whatnot, you have different clothes that you can wear. The clothes is not only clothes, but it also works as an armor. You also can use your clothes to actually give you more street cred, which will unlock new items and new vendors for you to go after. Now, that does remind me a lot of like street cred in Saints Row, where you would have to like get your street cred up to be able to progress in the game, which it seems like that is something that they're implementing into this game as well. Now let's go ahead and talk about the currency in the game. The currency is called eddies, and it is basically a modified version of the euro, which kind of makes us think that the U.S. government has fallen, and basically the European dollar is the worldwide currency that is used. Now the game does still take place in the United States. I believe the name of where it takes place is the Republic of California in Night City, which they also did mention has full day and night cycles where the AI characters will be interacting. Anytime that you go out, you'll see a plethora of AI characters just interacting with the environment, interacting with you, and just basically going about their AI lives. Now, it would seem like just like most open world games, you are going to be getting your jobs or your missions from specific people around the city that you're going to go ahead and have to visit. As you can see here, you're about to meet up with your partner who is going to give you your next mission to basically infiltrate one of the gangs that's in the city.
What's up, Jack?
Dexter Deshawn. Huh? Sound familiar? Hombre wants to talk to you. One of Night City's top fixers, eh? Okay, you see that caddy? Need to walk on over there and get us a job, Heina.
Now, it seems the game is going to have multiple factions that you're going to be either working with or going after. To be included, I'm sure, is the Tomm Corporation and also the manufacturer of the mods that is known as Korisnaku. So I apologize if I completely destroyed the pronunciation of that company or the name of the company. But I did my best there. Now, there are multiple ways to complete each mission in the game. You could take it from different angles, very similar to how in Assassin's Creed you can complete missions in very different ways. One thing I can honestly say that I am very excited for is how alive the city looks. From what they showed in the gameplay demo, the city looks like it is just filled with stuff to do, things to explore, people to meet, and I mean, it just seems like there would be hundreds upon hundreds of hours that you can be putting into the game, which is definitely a good thing, and you know, I'm sure that everybody will feel like they're going to get their money's worth with that. Next up is basically what are called rippers. So rippers are actually how you get your mods in the game itself. Basically, you're going to be able to go to the ripper, and I'm assuming you're going to have skill points that you need to turn in or money that you need to obviously give them so that way they can implement the new mods into your body that are going to help you to basically progress in the story. The scanner that they show as a mod shows detail about enemies such as gang affiliation and I guess damage, weak spots. There was plenty of stuff that can be implemented into the mod there. There will be black market vendors that have specific mods and gear that you can only get from them. Another interesting point that I was not expecting to be in the game is your ability to drive around the free world without having any type of restrictions. You're going to be able to use cars, bikes, motorcycles, and who knows what else. When you're driving, you are going to be able to have multiple camera angles that are going to be able to give you an easier time while driving. Now, another thing that they did show was that you actually yourself can be hacked and interrogated by enemy factions. Now, they do show this in the gameplay demo when you're going to meet up with an informant about a mission where you are basically hacked and they ask you questions, they interrogate you, and based on how your answer it could change basically how the story plays out. Now, the cool thing about that is that you can actually use the exact same mod to be able to get intel from the AI as well. There is a perk system that prevents AI from shooting guns like the Arkham games, where basically you will go ahead and shut down the guns that are only to be used by the corporation. So corporate weapons are like their top tier. Those are the best guns that you can get in the game, but they can only be unlocked in a certain way. Now, going back to the mods, basically your mod for your vision allows you to scan for weak spots, so that's going to come in handy quite a bit when you're going up against the higher tier enemies. Especially if you're surrounded by a group of enemies, you're shooting, but your level isn't there. You can basically just use your scanner to see where their weak points are, eliminate their weak points, and then take them out. Now, street cred, going back to street cred, that is something that can be earned through missions, as well as what you're wearing. I'm assuming you can also get gear from completing missions. That's also going to elevate your street cred. There was just so much to look at in this gameplay trailer. I don't even know where to stop. The game looks phenomenal. I am super hyped for it. I cannot wait to dive in and try the game out for myself, see how the mechanics are. It does have a Deus Ex feel to it, with, you know, like the cyberpunk side to it. It's its own style, but it does seem like it does implement certain features from other games, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Definitely looking forward to covering more of this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I tried to gather as much information as I possibly could while I'm here at work. But you know, I can only do so much. So make sure to put in the comment section if there's something that I missed, something you would like to see me cover. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Help this channel grow, help me grow, and I'm going to make sure that I take care of everybody that comes and follows me. With that being said, I want to thank everybody for joining me today, and I want to make sure that everybody has a great day. Be good, game great. Shady's out.